What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Memphis Dynasty here on NCAA 12, one of the more underrated NCAA games that we have. And we're out here, we got a big game to finally start our home games. This is our first home game of the season. First 4 games are on the road. We handled that pretty well, but we got a pretty difficult challenge here at home to start things out. We take on UConn, and this is actually not the UConn that you guys know. UConn was actually a very sound football team back in, those early 2010s, late 2000s. So this is what we're experiencing, and UConn, they're ranked number 15 in the country. Kurt Hertreek is also going to be rocking with them. They got a pretty good football team too. B overall squad, B+ offense, C- defense. So our defense is going to be challenged, so we don't have a D+ offense, but a C offense, so we could find ways to score against this UConn squad. But yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Hopefully we have our starting running back. I think we're really going to need him if we have an actual chance of winning this football game. So like I said, they're a pretty good squad. But before we even worry about the gameplay on the field, we got a pretty important recruiting update to let you guys know about. So this is how things are shaking out so far in terms of our recruiting, and we actually have quite a few guys coming in to visit. Prince Williams is the most notable. He's a 4-star tight end from Perry, Georgia. He's the only 4-star that was actually interested in us, and we're down by about 350 points now. Georgia Tech has also not offered a scholarship yet, but we do have him coming in for a visit. Hopefully we can use that to close that gap a little bit. Other players that we are going after as well is Rob Turner, who is currently a soft commit to the Cincinnati Bearcats, but we did beat them on the road as well, and he's coming to visit as well. James Bernard is a 3-star from Henderson, Tennessee. He's a soft commit to the University of Kentucky, but he is coming to visit our campus, and he is a home state guy, so I'd like to keep him in the state of Tennessee. And the other two that I wanted to talk to you guys about is Greg Washington, the number 47 defensive tackle in the country. He's a soft commit to Southern Miss, our rival, but we have him coming to visit on campus here in a few weeks. And of course, the other guy that, has updated their recruiting status is Willie Brown. He's a 3-star tackle from Lake Ridge, Virginia. I want to beef up that offensive line. He's currently soft to North Carolina State, but he is coming to visit. But with all that being said, I am certainly ready to get things going here at the Liberty Bowl Stadium. I hope you guys are as well. And if you're excited about this ranked matchup in Big East Conference play, I need you guys to do me a big favor here. Smack that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well if you happen to be brand new to the channel. I'll go ahead and see you guys on the football field to see if we can pull off the upset. Let's get it. Alright boys, so we are picking things up here. A couple minutes into the game. There hasn't been a lot of action yet, but we gotta be ready for this UConn squad. They came to play, and we needed that play, man. We gotta intercept that football when we're given a duck like that. UConn is not going to give us a lot of freebies in this one. They're ranked number 15 for a reason, and they're going to take it to the outside and actually going to make a couple of our guys miss. Reggie Franklin does eventually get him out of bounds for us, and that is going to be 3rd and 4. And UConn, what they love to do, they love to go no huddle. This is something that we've seen a few times now. We've seen this with UCF, and we also seen this with the Cincinnati Bearcats when we played them in the previous episode, right? So we're used to this by now, but still going to be a challenge nonetheless as we try to, take away the outside, but running back's going to cut it back inside, and it's still going to be a 7-yard gain, and that will make it 2nd and short. UConn looking to pick up the first down, and they're actually going to get it here. How about that spin move to get away from A.J. Kaysen? Required a gang tackle for us to actually bring him down, and that will be yet another first down for the UConn Huskies, as they'll now go with a 4-wide set, a tight end out onto the field as well. One of the receivers does get open, requiring multiple linebackers to bring him down. That's A.J. Kaysen as well as Josh Meadows making a play on the ball. So that now make another 1st and 10. And UConn, they're just moving this football a little bit at will, but we are going to get just a little bit of help there. We are going to have a false start penalty, so that will give our defense a little bit of breathing room. And now it's going to be 1st and 15 instead, as now drawing back the pass is going to be this quarterback throwing it over to the left-hand side. That will go for a 6-yard gain, but they're moving immediately. They do this after any gain that they make. They are going to go right into their no huddle. They are not messing around. They are taking some names, and Coleman can't reach that quarterback. Nobody can. He's going to actually slide down inside the 5-yard line. And again, a first down for the UConn Huskies, if they've been moving the ball essentially at will so far today before they've punched it into the end zone. Touchdown Huskies. And UConn is going to take a 7-0 lead here early on. So we really need our offense to come through. And, you know, special teams, they certainly came to play. You notice that we have a 7 next to our name on the scoreboard. And that is actually because we got a special teams touchdown. So at least we got that to our name. But we still haven't gotten a first down yet in this ball game. Hopefully this is the one that we can actually pick up. 4th and 1. We are going to go for it here, as thought about calling an audible, but we're going to just let this run, see what we can do with it. Brown got to get that 1 yard, but we can't even do that. So we had a couple of drives so far in this game on our side for the offense, but no first downs to show for it. Not how we wanted to start. Good thing we're still in this game, at least as of right now. But man, this UConn squad, you can tell, at least on paper, they are certainly a much more talented football team. So now, 3rd and 10 coming up here, is they're going to try to throw over the middle of the field, and it's going to be picked up for the first down. Reggie Franklin and company cannot bring them down in time. So that's a tough one, giving up a 3rd and 10. You know, got to do a better job making those 3rd down stops. And that just hasn't happened yet, as Zach Scott almost gets the interception there. So now, 3rd and 6 coming up. Got him on the fringes of field goal range. Got to stop him here if we want to prevent that from happening, as Ryan Towns had the ball in his hands but decides to swat it instead of get the interception. So it forces UConn to take a 50-yard field goal, and kicker does not have the leg, at least not with all the weather conditions going on. I'm surprised that they go for this field goal. This is one thing that I don't like about NCAA 12, going for all these field goals that, you know, the kicker is not really capable of making, to be honest. But, you know, I can only control so much. But that being said, Justin Brown and company is going to come back out on the field after the missed field goal, and we do finally pick up that first down that we've been looking for. Almost took an entire quarter, but that's perfectly fine. But now we're sitting at midfield, though, and we got an opportunity. We're going to wind up downfield. Chris Washington takes the top of the defense. Touchdown, Memphis. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to have our lead here against the number 15 team in the country. And that is just a bad lapse in defensive assignments. You're in zone. How are you doing that? I'm certainly not complaining. I just think it's kind of funny, though. So we're going to have a 14-7 lead here going into the first quarter of action, or at least finishing up the first quarter of play. And that will actually be your score to end the first quarter. Hey, it's been a battle, man. It has certainly been a battle. UConn, they came as advertised. They're a good football team, man, but you know, Memphis, we're off to a hot start. I like how we've been playing so far. We've got to keep this high level of play for all 4 quarters, because if we let up even a little bit, UConn, they can turn it on at any given time. That's why they're undefeated and have that top 25 ranking as of right now. So now, jumping into the second quarter of action here, as Williams will get things going with a rotation over to the right-hand side, getting out into motion. But running back over to the left-hand side, there's an open receiver, and that's going to be a first down for the UConn Huskies. And UConn, not wasting any time, they're going back into their no huddle. They're almost ready to snap this football once again as Carter does get moved out over to the left-hand side. Dropping back. No, it's going to be a run for the quarterback. Quarterback is going to pick up a first down there yet again. And a 1st and 10 ensues for the UConn Huskies. Haven't said that team name in a while because they're not in college football revamp, but this is based NCAA 12. So, we get a little bit of love for, UConn, for those that, maybe miss playing with or against the UConn Huskies. But for now, we do get them to a 3rd and 7. We'll see if we can stop them here. They're going to try to throw over the middle of the field, and who's supposed to guard that guy? I don't know if we were in zone. I can't remember if we were in zone or if we were in man coverage. Either way, no shot. That should have been wide but naked open like that. Instead, red zone opportunity for UConn as they try to cut this lead. And they're going to cut it down completely. And that's going to be a touchdown pass in the back of the end zone. And just like that, we got ourselves a tied ball game here in our very first home game of the entire season. It's going to be 14-all now. So we're going to need to bring the offensive firepower. We'll see if our offense comes up with some big plays as we'll start to drive off with a play action. Richards is provided a little bit of time and gets it out to Willie Duncan with it. And we already are chilling at about midfield. Great read, great throw, and nice concentration to make the catch as well. So now in UConn territory for just the 2nd time here today. Last possession that we're able to cross the 50-yard line. Eventually got a touchdown. See if we can do that yet again as we try for another deep throw. This one will not be completed though. And it'll be 3rd and long. And we have not picked up a single 3rd down conversion yet. We'll see if we can change that here as we throw over the middle of the field for Brian Kidd. But Brian Kidd cannot reach out and pick up that 1st down. 4th and 1 is going to be coming up. Big decision here. And we're not going to play scared. We're going for it. And we want to pick up this 1st down. Going to rely on Justin Brown to try to pick up the sticks. And Justin Brown is going to be marked short. And UConn, they are now going to have the football. At least for the time being. But we will at least force a 3 and out. So we did have a promising possession last time around, but could not finish that drive and not come away with any points. Just shows that, in critical situations, we got to be better with our execution. We'll see if we come with a different mindset on this drive. As this throw here on 1st and 10 has a completely different story. This hits Justin Brown on the helmet. How do you not attempt to catch that, my guy? Like, what are we doing here? I have no idea, but it is going to be 3rd and long that we have to deal with yet again. So, need a big play to keep the play going. And sure enough, Jamarcus Mitchell does make that big play that we're looking for. They try to press us up on the 3rd and long and, got that 1st down because of it. Jamarcus Mitchell did his job. And Jesse Richards actually having a pretty efficient day. 8 for 12, 112 yards so far in the football game. Really like what I'm seeing there. But on a 2nd and 4, UConn's going to send the blitz. And we had an open receiver, but we just missed him outright. Just a throw that I'm sure Jesse Richards will want back. So now, 3rd and 4 coming up as Richards gets his guys to the line of scrimmage yet again. As Richards going to go ahead, move his man out into motion. As Mitchell does pick up the 1st down and does pick up a little bit more after that. We're able to cross the 40-yard line and also able to go ahead and keep the drive alive too. So, you'll have to see all of that. A couple plays later, though, we will motion Brian the Kid out on a slant. And look at this. Brian the Kid open in the middle of the field. Figured it was going to happen. And sure enough, it actually does. Able to pick up that 1st down because of it. The motion and whatnot all working pretty well. As we again throw over the middle of the field, it's Chris Washington who does make the reception. And with 3 minutes left to play, we're just 10-ish yards away from taking the lead. So first play after essentially first and goal, we get it out to Justin Brown. Brown with a chance to find the end zone, and he does. Touchdown, Memphis, and Justin Brown getting that job done. And that is going to be a lead that I'm hoping that we can hold on to. Although that did look a little bit close, I'm surprised that they didn't review the call a little bit further. But that being said, got this 21-14 lead as of right now. But UConn, they are not messing around. They're going to also want to try to go ahead, get some points up on the board before we go into halftime. So these next few minutes are going to be pretty important here. You'll want to take that momentum into the locker room. And it looks like UConn wants to seize it themselves. It's now 1st and 10 after yet another big passing play down the field. As we go, 1st and 10. It's going to be a halfback draw this time. We were bamboozled because there was, nobody really in that second level kind of to come in and make a tackle. Like the linebackers were all spread out and whatnot. So, good play call there by UConn. They definitely got us there. And, they're moving this football at will. And this is what UConn is absolutely capable of doing. That B-plus offense, I knew, was going to be a problem. Defensively, we weren't. I'm not expecting a lot. Just make some critical plays once we get into the red zone. That's really all that I'm hoping for. As, once again, a cut up the middle of the field. And that's a really smart cut because in NCAA 14, you wouldn't typically see that cut happen. But in 12, 12, the AI is a little bit smarter in terms of that running ability, or at least like seeing those cuts and seeing just having that ball carrier vision as general. As 2nd and 5, they will pick up the first down and almost a touchdown too. Dan Daniel comes in at the very last second to make a play. But 3rd and goal coming up. And they're a few yards away from tying this football game. But Josh Meadows comes in just a little bit too late. It was one of our defensive linemen that got to him first, but can't wrap him up. And now 1:21 left to play in the first half. We got ourselves a tie game. We'll see if we can get the last lap before we go into the halftime locker room. We will use one of our timeouts, so after a 7-yard catch, just because we did not get that first down. And now, 2nd and 3 coming up. Going with a 5-wide set. See if somebody can win downfield. And sure enough, we got an open guy. Looking for Brian the Kid. And it's caught. It is going to be caught. And how about that for a big-time play? Now we don't even have to do any no huddle or anything crazy like that. We can just take our time down the field if we want to. But on the very next play, we had some more points on that scoreboard, baby. Let's go, man. We take the lead thanks to that Justin Brown touchdown run. And that is going to be Justin Brown's 2nd touchdown of the game. So now we have the lead once again with 50 seconds left to play as we try to go to work here on the defensive end. Make sure that we finish on a high note. But it seems like UConn, they were originally content with taking the ball into half, but they pick up the first down, and now they're going to get a little bit more aggressive now as we had a chance to wrap him up multiple times. We can't get to this quarterback. He'll slide down, and just one more first down could get the UConn Huskies into field goal range. But at this point, I'm sure they're thinking bigger. We send the blitz on a 1st and 10, and we got the tight end Wine butt naked open. Why does he not run straight? I have no idea, but Dan Daniel, he's going to pull on the face mask, and the refs are going to catch him red-handed. So that's an automatic 15-yard penalty. Now it's a 1st and goal yet again. A couple plays later, looking over to the right-hand side. That will be deflected away. Now we're looking at a 3rd and goal. Critical 3rd down. We're going to sell out on the pass, and they actually do pass the football. Looking around. Get a little bit of pressure brought up, but nowhere to go with the ball ultimately. Surprised the quarterback did not try to scramble it. And that will bring the field goal team out to try to finish this first half with some points. And that kick was a little bit close to not happening, but the field goal attempt will indeed be good. And that's going to wrap up the first half of action We're going to be up 28-24 going into the second half. So going into the second half of action, we did have the ball start the second half, but we do not do anything with it. So UConn has the football yet again, and Williams has just been a consistent problem. He has been a problem that we have had to deal with this entire game so far. Don't know how we're going to be able to stop him. Just hoping that maybe we can get him into some long passing situations. But now UConn is deep in our own territory as they throw again on 2nd and 11. And we got lucky because that man was wide butt naked open. Kind of been the thing, you know, kind of having some problems when they get into this side of the field. And now we got him to a 3rd and 11. And I want to make sure if his quarterback feels the heat. And sure enough, he does. We hit him as he tries to throw the football on the halfback screen. And now we'll bring their kicker out to attempt this 40-yard field goal, who's been a little bit shaky as of late, but he doesn't sink it through. It hits the front upright, and it bounces outward. Wow, that is just tough to watch, and we will still have a 4-point lead. As now our offense comes back out onto the field. We're going to hand it off to Chris Washington. And Chris Washington, he's got some space to work up the middle of the field. No one's going to catch him. He's going to be gone like a girl in a country song. Touchdown, Memphis. Chris Washington is going to now make it a double-digit lead. Let's go, baby. You love to see it. So an 11-point lead ensuing at the moment. And it's now 35-24. But UConn, they still got some fight in them as UConn connects on a big passing play themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a shootout on our hands. And now 2nd and 9 coming up. Going to try to run it up the middle of the field. And that's going to go for a good, solid chunk of yardage there. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. We'll see what UConn decides to do here on the 3rd and short. Will they decide to run the football again? Looks like Carter's going to be moved to the right-hand side. 2 tight ends set. And it's going to be a run to the right-hand side. And, of course, we're going to be able to stop them behind the first down marker. That's going to bring up 4th down. But UConn is going to choose to go for it here on 4th down. It's going to get very spicy. 4th and 2. Reed going to be moved out into the motion. We'll see what UConn decides to do here. They're going to try to toss it out to the right-hand side. Can we stop them? No, we cannot. Not before forward progress was made. And it was close, but UConn gets a brand spanking new set of downs that they get to work with. So now, 1st and 10 coming up. They're going to try to go. No, we're going to try to run again. Davenport trying to give chase, but quarterback decides to slide down before he can lay the lumber. Except there is a holding, and holding's going to knock him back 10 more yards. So now we're looking at a 1st and 20. We'll see how UConn decides to attack this 1st down situation. Now that they got to go for 20 yards instead of just 10. And they decide to dump it off to the running back, but the running back goes backwards. He goes backwards, and it's a 7-yard loss. 2nd and 27. And we're feeling pretty good right now. We are feeling pretty darn good, except we hit the face mask. We grabbed the face mask. And here's the thing with face mask penalties. That's an automatic 1st down. So Kyle Davis, that's the lockout of the week, man. I'm sorry. That is the lockout of the week. So that's going to be an automatic 1st down for the UConn Huskies. And so they also get some additional yards too, like half the distance to the goal line. But we do get them to a 3rd and long, as we did end up sending the blitz. And the blitz actually works in our favor. 3rd and 19 coming up, though, is we got another long 3rd down that are going to need to convert. We'll see what they got here. 3rd and 19. The star quarterback's going to drop back. He's going to try to drop it into the bucket, but it's going to be broken up at the last second. That's Ryan Towns. That is going to knock the pass away. And so the field goal unit is going to come out onto the field. The kick is up, and it's going to be no good. It is going to just barely miss over to the left-hand side. And our defense, that defense is going to hold up yet again. So now we take over after the missed field goal as we try to set up a screen ourselves. But the screen gets covered, or at least the side that we are looking to. And we also take a loss. 2nd and 19 will be coming up. So we'll see how we can get out of his 2nd and 19. It's Willie Duggan wins at the line of scrimmage. So we throw a go pattern instead. That's the hot check. If they're pressing and you get a clean release at the line of scrimmage still, it just turns into a go route. And Willie Duckett certainly made them pay for it there. But we face another 3rd and long. Richards with a 5 wide set, looking for someone to get open down the middle of the field. Brown cannot pull it in though. That was a catch that we needed, and unfortunately, it's not one that we are going to get. So again, another tough break for us here, but at least this time around, we do end up forcing a 3 and out. Has not been a lot of 3 and outs in this football game by any stretch of the imagination. But we do end up getting another run in. Brown's going to run it up the middle of the field, and that is going to go for a 1st down there. Another 1st and 10 for the Memphis Tigers as we now sit at about midfield and trying to make them pay. Mitchell of Jamarcus. Another jet sweep. He's going to pick up 7 there on the run, but it's going to come with some caveats. Jamarcus Mitchell ends up hurting himself. Hopefully, it's not too serious of an injury, and it looks like we already got the injury update. He bruised his shoulder, so he's going to be out for a quarter. So for precautionary reasons, we might just keep him out for the rest of this game, and we'll have a key decision coming up as we now get into the end of the 3rd quarter. We did end up extending our lead a little bit. Going to be up 35-24. But do we decide to go for the 4th down or not? You'll have to wait and see. So we actually did end up deciding to punt the football away. You know, I didn't want to risk it for a biscuit. You know, got to pick up, more of it, just a yard. And honestly, have not been very good on 4th down conversions today, right? So, and also our defense been playing really well here in the 2nd half. We'll see if they can keep that going here. Is 3rd and 7 coming up. They're going to try to set up the screen here. We read it, but we read it late with our defensive lineman. By the time we realized it, Coleman was already getting chop blocked, and nothing we could do about it. So UConn is going to be on our side of the field, and we'll get deeper into our territory with that 6-yard run. It will once again set up yet another 3rd down conversion attempt for the UConn Huskies, as they did pick up the last 3rd down conversion. We'll see if we have better luck this time around. They've tried to throw over to the left-hand side, but it's thrown out of bounds. So 4th down, that's going to be coming up here. And UConn, they're going to go for it. They need this badly because they're down 2 possessions in the 4th quarter. Dropping back, going to try to run for the 1st down, and sure enough, will indeed pick up the 1st down. So to drive and therefore their hopes to win this game remain alive. Like I said, they have to score. Doesn't necessarily have to be a touchdown, but they will need to score. So a big moment here for our defense to, keep them from getting any bigger. And how about this? We got a fumble. Coleman's going to get the fumble. Let's go, baby. How about them apples? Forcing the fumble recovery. How about that, man? Let's go. So we'll take over about the 20-yard line after recovering the fumble. And we're going to get our rushing attack going here as we might have gotten a face mask. Yes, they called it. We finally get a penalty called our way. It's been a lot of calls in favor of UConn, it seems like. But that's one's going to go for us. So now, 1st and 10 coming up as looks like UConn plans on sending the blitz there. As Richards is going to drop back to pass, looking over to the left-hand side, but it's going to be incomplete. So that will make it 2nd and 10 coming up. So now Richards again in the shotgun formation. Going to try to go with the halfback draw. Brown runs it up the middle of the field, and
That will go for a 10-yard run. So now, 1st and 10 coming up yet again. Richards dropping back over the middle of the field. That is going to be a sack that we don't like to see. Just Dan Larson losing at the line of scrimmage. Could not hold the block at all. And another 3rd and long that we'll have to deal with. Richards dropping back. Looks over to the right-hand side, but it's going to be intercepted. We tried to get the football out to Brian the Kid, but we can't bring him down. And, you know, in hindsight, if we didn't complete that pass, we would have to punt this away. So think of this as somewhat of an arm punt. Only problem was UConn actually got quite a return out of it. But good thing for us, our defense does its job, and we were able to force a 3 and out. So 4 minutes left to play here in this ball game. We have a chance to run out the rest of his clock, or at least force UConn to use whatever timeouts they got left. And that first down right there is going to really help us out. That will make it 1st and 10. So now 2nd down coming up is Richards again trying to drop back. Don't need to throw this football, but we do anyways. But there's a flag on the field though. Is it going to be roughing the passer? No. It's going to be a holding called on the left tackle, Zach Foster. What that at least does, that gives us technically an extra play to work with, and we can run out a little bit of clock here as Jamarcus Mitchell actually gets the job done. How about that yak action there? Jamarcus Mitchell able to run out some clock for us now because it's inside 3 minutes, and I'm sure UConn is going to try to use their timeouts. They only have 1 left now, so if we pick up this 1st down, UConn is going to be donezo, but their defense is going to get the job done. 4th down, we will attempt a 47-yard field goal. The kick is up for Kelly, and Kelly just knocks it right down the middle. So the field goal can no longer be on the table for UConn, so that's the benefit for what we just did. They got to find the end zone on 2 separate occasions now. So this could be UConn's final possession of the ball game. Can they make it count? 1st and 10. Looking over to the left-hand side. It's caught, but it only goes for a short gain. Gain of 5. They will later run up to the line of scrimmage and get the spike the football down. So that's now 3rd and 5. They're going to try to go for it here on 3rd down, obviously, and that's going to be no good. They don't pick up the 1st down. They only pick up a couple of yards, matter of fact. And now we're looking at 4th down. If they don't pick this up, it's going to be over, and they're going to run it up the middle of the field, and sure enough, they pick up the 1st down for the UConn Huskies. There's still a little bit of life left in this team, but down to their final minute, though. They got to pick up bigger chunk plays. Maybe that will help them a little bit. A 12-yard reception. But now 2nd and 10 after yet another spike. Again, they're throwing the football. Looking around. It's got some time to work with down the right-hand side, but it's dropped. Oh, you hate to see that drop happen. And now it's 3rd and 10. Dropping back. Looking. And it's going to be, no, not a sack. Look what happens here. Quarterback thinks he's still looking for somebody to get open. I don't think he realized that he was actually past the line of scrimmage, so a little bit of a boneheaded play there. And on 4th down, they're going to have to go for it. They got to move quick. Less than 30 seconds left. Throwing down the middle of the field, and it's overthrown. He had his receiver. He definitely had his receiver. But it's not going to be enough. It is not going to be enough, though. And that will mean that we will come out and we will beat the UConn Huskies 38-24. And if you want to talk about a statement win, we got one there because that was a team effort that you love to see.
Yes, sir. We end up taking down the UConn Huskies, number 15 ranked UConn. And this was a team record here, man. A team effort. Jesse Richards started us off pretty well. 17 for 27, 266 yards today, 2 touchdowns. Did throw interceptions, but it's all good in the hood because we did end up winning that game. Justin Brown also had a 100-yard rushing day on the ground. In spite of not being at 100%, he was a key cog for our offense here today. But Chris Washington had our biggest game of the day. He had a 75-yard run, which was the biggest play of the day. He had free carries for 76 yards on the way to also finding the end zone. Now, for our receivers, there wasn't a lot of variety in who touched the football today, and there was no 100-yard receivers either. But Brian Kidd did lead the way overall. He had 5 catches for 85 yards in this one, but did not find the end zone. That was Justin Brown who also found the end zone for us. He had 3 catches for 9 yards, and then Chris Washington again also had a receiving touchdown. So in my opinion, dude should have been player of the game. And of course, defensively, how about our custom guys really stepping up to the plate here today? Dan Daniel and Justin Meadows led the way. Dan Daniel had 8 solos, 2 assisted tackles, whereas Josh Meadows, he had 6 solos and 3 assisted tackles himself. We did not generate very much pressure though, but we did end up forcing a little bit of pressure from our true freshman, Caleb Crawford, who didn't get much playing time, but on one of the 3 and outs, we did get a sack with him. And then Reggie Franklin was also able to get to his quarterback as well. Meanwhile, we were not able to get any interception in this one, but we did get a pretty critical forced fumble. It was Eric Harris, the senior redshirt, who I don't really talk about very often, but he did come through here today. And the person who recovered that fumble was Nate Coleman, who is our junior defensive lineman. Overall, this was a strong team effort. We ended up with a special teams touchdown as well from Willie Jones, who was our backup running back as well. And with that, we're going to be 4-1. We'll see if this gives us any consideration to be ranked in the top 25 once we sim this next week. Let's see what's going on with that. Alright, boys, so we do sim ourselves over to next week, and what we find is that we're not in the top 25. We are not ranked in the top 25, which, you know, is to be expected, unfortunately, you know, at this point in the season. But check out the additional information. We are not receiving any votes right now, so a little bit of disrespect on our names, but it's whatever, man. Y'all do what you need to do. Yeah, absolutely hate to see it, but we will have a chance to prove ourselves further, as we do have another home game. It's against a pretty tough opponent here. We're taking on Rutgers in the next episode. They're undefeated at this point. In Rutgers, they're ranked number 17 in the country. Should get a little bit of national attention from this game, and something that I'm pretty excited about, and hopefully you guys are excited for it as well. So if you are, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button for me, hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand spanking new to the channel. This is John J. Gaming on the mic, signing off, but I'm hoping you're out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.